Yo, what is up? This is a new What If. We're here with a collab with the boy Tangy Shrimp. His channel link will be in the description below. Make sure you go check it out. He makes all sorts of videos, Minecraft, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, just go show some support if you are into that type of stuff. Even if you aren't, just go subscribe. Why not? You know, just subscribe. This is a new What If. This is going to be what if Naruto and Deku were actually an SAO. Now, the concept is going to be quite intriguing, I believe. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Now, Naruto is just going to wake up. He's going to be like, yo, where the fuck am I? This is not my room. Usually I have shit everywhere. I don't know where I am. Now, this Naruto is the one that actually came back right in the beginning of Shippuden. The one that, used the sexy jutsu right in front of Sakura and got his ass beat. So, that one. So he's still basically an idiot, but he's got balls. So we'll give him that. Now, Naruto looks around. He sees quite a few players. And he actually sees one intriguing player, one that's quite popular with people right now. This is, of course, Kirito. Now, this is the beginning part, before any explanations have gone down. So Naruto is going to, of course, walk up to this guy, wondering where he is. So he just walks up and he says, "Hey, do you happen to know where I am?" Well, Kirito replies, no, no, you don't know where you are? This is SAO." SAO, what are you talking about? Uh, is that close to the Hidden Leaf Village? Kirito is completely taken off guard by this statement. I don't know what you're talking about. Hidden Leaf Village. What? Is that some map area? Is that something new they added? Is that like an event? That's what Naruto's like. What the fuck is an event? Kirito's like, this is a game. Naruto's like, what? Like shogi? Kirito's like, shogi? What? That like chess game? That's when basically they're kind of interrupted by what would be Klein coming up and asking. He's like, "Hey, yo, trying to teach me, Kirito?" And Kirito's like, "Oh, well, sorry, friend, I got a prior engagement, I guess, towards Naruto." And Naruto's like, watches as he kills a boar. Naruto sees him kill a boar, and he's like, "You're struggling with killing a boar, but you're using a sword? I don't even need a sword." He says, "Watch this." He walks up, uses a Rasengan. The Rasengan just annihilates multiple boars, honestly, because the Rasengan's power would be so good that it would be able to take out probably two or three of them. Now, his power has been nerfed, and it's going to basically be where you level up, and the more he levels up, the more power he obtains of his actual abilities. But he still has exponential power just due to how much sheer power he had in the actual anime.
Hacks.
So he's going to, of course, kind of pop in towards what would be like a sword shop. Now, why would he be going towards this sword shop? Well, why not? He would actually be trying to look for something to replace his kunais. He did not. He still used kunais to a degree. So if he could look for something like a short sword, that would be extremely useful for someone like him. Gives him a long range advantage since he doesn't have the Rasen Shuriken at this point in time. Now, Naruto is of course going to walk in and suddenly he sees a very beautiful pink-haired lady or a cashier. Now, what is he thinking? Since he's a closet pervert, he's not going to show anything. But he does say, she kind of reminds me of Sakura. Oh man, how I miss Sakura. Because, Naruto's a simp for Sakura. What a homo. But all I know is, basically, he's going to go in. He's going to be like, hey, you got any kunai here? She's like, kunai? No, we don't sell that. I mean, it's like, no, we have short swords. Naruto's like, may I see one? So she's going to show him a short sword, and he's going to be like, well, this is not exactly to my liking. She's like, okay, Mr. Tough Guy. Show me why it's not so good. This is one of the best I've made. Very similar to how Kirito's interaction went down with her. Naruto's like, oh, really? Alright, bet. I'll show you. So, he's going to summon a shadow clone. She's just freaked out. She's like, what the fuck? And he's going to use this shadow clone to actually make a Rasengan and slam downward. Now, this Rasengan is going to be basically a very dulled down version, and it still snaps the blade in half clean. And she's, of course, triggered by this. She's like, why did you do that? That was one of my best works. That's when, Naruto is going to be like, really? that's one of your best. I'd hate to see one of your worst. That's when she's gonna be like, damn, who is this guy think he is? Naruto's gonna be like, alright, well, I don't really have that much money, but here, you can have this. It's something that he acquired from, it's an amount of money that he acquired from killing all the boars. He's leveled up greatly since then, since he's been grinding. And it leads towards him actually forming a sort of bond with her, coming back and forth, getting new weapons as she's gradually increasing it. And it's over a course of like probably a week, and he's grinding hard. So since he's grinding intensely, he's getting harder and harder and harder. And this is going to lead towards, him eventually kind of, I guess, not really forming a crush on her. He's just chilling. And she's kind of forming a crush on him. Since she kind of was into Kirito over just teasing, I think she would fall for this Naruto extremely easily. Not going to lie.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
She was kind of into that. So, into the bad boy vibes, apparently. So, yeah, it just seems more most plausible way it would happen. And basically that's how it's going to go down for that. That's when Deku and, Naruto would actually pop in and, actually end up meeting each other.
Alright, Deku's perspective. I'm Tangy Shrimp if you didn't know already. So Deku, before going into the SAO dimension, he fights a villain. The villain is unknown, so we don't know that yet. He fights this villain, saying like, what are you up to and stuff. This villain has a quirk that can teleport people to different dimensions, basically like in different animes or something. Like he can teleport anywhere. So he fights this villain, but after his quirk doesn't affect the villain's quirk, kinda. And then the villain just knocks Deku out. The villain then teleports Deku to the SAO dimension. So he's stuck in the dimension like the other people. And yeah. Deku says, "Where am I?" when he wakes up. Then Deku, he has no clue. He doesn't know where he is. No one knows him. He's just in a forest. Okay, let's just say he's in a forest. He has no clue where he is. He wants to go back home, but like he doesn't know how. And if he wants to go back home, he has to try and find that villain. But what he doesn't know is that to get out of the game, he has to kill the level 100 boss. So he just tries to find the villain. But then there's the NPCs that has no idea what he's doing. So let's just say he's trying to find the villain while meanwhile a few days passed. Ochaku Uraraka realizes that Deku has been gone for like a few days and was worried sick about him because she cared about him a lot. So she's like, where's Deku? She tries asking her classmates if they knew where he was. None of them knew. Even Mr. Aizawa doesn't even know. Or All Might, or none of the teachers. No one could help her. So she just goes out in the public to try and find the villain. Ends up meeting a suspicious dude. A very, very suspicious dude. She asked if he knew about this green-haired, curly-haired dude that's like a pussy. So she just asked like where Deku is, and he's like, "Oh, you mean this kid? Yeah, I just teleported him to a different dimension." And that's when Uraraka's like, "What have you done to him? What have you done?" So she's obviously in shock. So she's gonna try and fight the villain, saying she's gonna say, if I beat you, you have to give Deku back," which obviously she doesn't beat him because of her quirk. Now we all know her quirk is levitation, so she can just teleport herself. She has been through the gunhead martial arts, so she might be able to kind of defeat him. So she tries to defeat him, but it didn't really work out perfectly because the villain ends up beating her. So she gets teleported to the same dimension, but the villain was going to teleport her into, like, let's say the Attack on Titan anime, you know. But the villain forgot about changing the coordinates. So yeah, that happens. So that's a few days later. But right now we're on Deku right now, still trying to find out where the heck this kid is. So he finds some enemies that go up to him, and some other players were there too. No idea who he was, where did he come from, no idea. So the players were just watching him go up against the bowlers, cause that's level 1. So he would just fight them, but he doesn't have a sword. That's the problem. So he just goes one for all, full cow. 5%. 5% is good enough to defeat like a single board, and just one taps the bowlers. The other players are like, what did I just witness? What just happened? Really confused on what happened. Deku didn't have a sword, no skills, nothing. Did not know about the game. Deku's just like wondering why everyone's just staring at him. So he's like, did I do something wrong? The players are just gonna be like, you just one-tapped him, my guy. Are you hacking or something? And then that's when Deku realizes that he's in the game. He's like, wait, hacking? Am I in a game? So that happens. He's confused, and no one explains to him what happened. So that's all he really knows. He's just in a game, teleported by some villain dude, and that's pretty much it.
Now it's the meeting day of basically where it would be the first floor boss, and Deku and Naruto have both arrived, along with their accomplices. Now usually you would think, well, accomplices, I would mean like Deku would probably bring probably like a fan group necessarily. They saw in awe of what has happened. They saw like how he just blew away a boar. So like, oh, all right, well that's pretty cool. This guy's pretty strong. This guy can help us in the boss raid. So let's go over here. Now Naruto, he would have Liz there to kind of just give him a little bit of like a morale boost. She came along on her own volition, and this leads towards them actually getting into the battle. But before that, they actually initially meet each other by, Deku kind of stumbling over and landing onto Naruto. Now, Naruto's like, hey man, watch it. Deku's like, I'm sorry. And Naruto's like, alright, my bad, bro. I shouldn't have been so mean. It's accidents are accidents, And Aston's like, alright, we're all cool. So, basically they met at that point in time. And you see there's alliances going off. So it's going to be like, hey, so you need like an alliance. How about you and me? So those two are going to get together. And they're kind of going to form into just a tag team duo with maybe a trio or something. Because Liz isn't going to partake in this. She's just here for like the extra boost since she's not really a fighter. So it turns into them actually going to the boss room. Now, Deku is highly unprepared. He is not necessarily highly unprepared. He's extremely strong. But he was not expecting necessarily the bosses to be nearly as strong as they were, especially since his powers were nerfed to such a great degree, as well as Naruto's. But Naruto's been grinding a lot more, and he had a much higher dosage, so the percentage left him with a lot more in the end. So this leads towards them actually beginning the fight. Deku's going to rush forward. He rushes forward to take out some minions. Yes, I'm going to add a few minions in there. He's going to take them out quite simply. His power is actually mind-boggling to everyone else. He's blowing them back. He's causing the actual room to shake with just the force. Now, Naruto sees this. He's like, pretty impressive. I can't even do that. He kind of reminds me of Lady Tsunade, in a way, And this leads towards Naruto seeing everyone start to struggle against the boss. And what would have resulted in, like, the death of that one guy in the beginning, it results in Deku actually coming in and interfering and blocking the shot. And since he blocked the shot, that means he would kind of receive a little bit of damage, but not too much since his durability is much higher than the average person's. So this leads towards Naruto rushing in with, I would say, he doesn't even really need necessarily the Rasengan fully at this point in time. He's going to rush in and land just normal punches, kind of like in a more or less martial arts stance, since his taijutsu was pretty formidable at this point in time. So he's actually landing some pretty decent blows, noticing that it doesn't do as much damage as he'd like though. So this leads towards him using the Shadow Clone Jutsu. He pops up about 10 Shadow Clones. They come in as a diversion. Now the boss is not very smart, so he sees this and everyone else is astonished, including Deku. He's never seen this before. Is it a mirage? Is it an illusion? This doesn't make sense. Naruto easily takes care of this. He rushes forward, kicking out the leg of the beast, causing him to fall to the floor. Now, one of the Shadow Clones rushes forward with a big ball Rasengan, slamming it towards the head of it, breaking and destroying the actual boss. Suddenly, Naruto receives an item inside of his box. Since he got it, he actually got the main item, and this would lead towards him getting, like, the cloak that Kirito had initially, and all that. So Naruto's kind of just beast mode right there. He comes up and over and kind of, helps heal he would use an item to help heal Deku. Now, Deku's gonna, of course, use kind of just thank everything, and well, not necessarily thank you, just be like, all right, thanks, man. And this would lead towards everyone coming over and just a kind of acknowledging or just saying how strong these two guys are. And this is going to lead towards Deku just kind of being a little shy at that point.
So Deku, he walks up to Naruto, and then he asks, "Whoa, that power is so awesome. What kind of quirk is it?"
Quirk? I have no idea what you're talking about. A quirk? Are you talking about my jutsus?
Jutsus? What are jutsus? Never heard of them before.
It's kind of a technique, It's kind of, when you use your chakra, you can use it to actually use your chakra nature to an advantage. Pervy Sage taught me this. Have you heard of him? He's widely renowned.
Pervy Sage? He sounds like Mineta.
Who's this Mineta fellow?
Well, he's a pervert, I guess.
Oh, Pervy Sage. He's no ordinary pervert. Trust me. This guy is top tier. You want to talk about porno mags? They have nothing compared to this guy. This guy, well, if this guy could literally see through walls, sorry, world would end. Nothing would happen. You wouldn't even have a girlfriend anymore at this point in time. That's how much Pervy Sage is. He's just a baller.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know about that. But what I do want to know about is, what are chakras?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what a quirk is. Really, it's kind of what it is. All I know is I'm not really from this place. I just woke up here.
You're not from this place?
No, aren't you?
I'm not from this place either.
Wow, that's crazy. Where the fuck did you come from?
Well, it was just me. I was trying to fight a villain, and then this villain knocks me out and teleports me back into this world.
Villain? That sounds so gay. Who the fuck would call themselves a villain?
People, no more people. You got a problem with that?
Yeah, man, that's a little gay. It's a little gay right there, dude. Like, who's gonna call themselves a villain? Suddenly they're interjected by people that are just kind of listening in. They're like, what are you guys talking about? Are you guys on like some fucking meth or something? Like, what's going on? Did you guys find some drugs? Can you share with us?
FBI, open up! Your feelings changed like the weather. Went from clear to gray. All that time of day.
This leads towards, more or less everyone just kind of disbanding after they explain the whole situation. They're like, all right, well, we're just really strong. We have these special abilities we've just grinded. They're going to say they grinded them. They don't want to disclose the fact that they're from a different world each, because that would be stupid. And people would be like, what the fuck? What are you even talking about? They think they're just on drugs or something. So they just basically say, oh, they came across some event and actually give them each of these abilities. And it's just, everyone's going to be looking around for a certain event, which does not exist. And that's more or less just going to be the end of this what if, or part of this what if. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, go and check out Tangy Shrimp's channel. It'll be in the link. The link will be in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Yeah, alright, that's it.